Shannon, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a threat are the Warriors, you think, to win the West?
Well, I mean, Skip, I didn't really take anything from them coming back and beating the Seagulls. I mean, the Pelicans. My bad, Jen, I'm sorry. Look, at some point in time...
Shots fired, Shannon. Duly
Skip,
noted.
don't you have to win on the road? If you're going to be an NBA champion and you don't have home court, now, if you're a number one seed, Skip, you can win all your home games, lose all your road games, you can win the title.
You could do that.
But the likelihood you don't have home court and they're not going to have it, how do they win a title, Skip, on the road? At home, they're 31-8. Away from home, they're 9-29.
Say that again.
9-29.
What?
They won one fewer road game than they lost at home. No. So I didn't take anything away because they still struggle on the road. Yes, Steph was sensational. Draymond, with his antics and carrying on, Draymond was plus 26 in plus minus. 8 points, 13 assists, 6 rebounds, doing what he does, needling guys. You know, Draymond does a great job. He hip checks Brandon Ingram, walks to him, and then pretend like, man, I ain't do nothing. Y'all see what he did? Yo, for what? Why? Why did I get attacked? You know why, Dre. Because you started all of this foolishness. But no, Skip, I give him a 30. I give him a 3. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give them a 3%, or they can win the NBA titles, considering how bad they struggle on the road. I get that Steph was sensational last night, but he's been sensational. That makes it seem like Steph all of a sudden has broke out of this shooting slump. Skip, he's averaging damn near 30 points a game the entire season, although he's missed a large chunk of time.
Yeah.
But Steph hasn't struggled this year. So, no, I gave him a 3.
Okay. I'm trying to dredge up some last year respect for this team because you should have respect. I know they don't have Andrew Wiggins. He's out for a personal issue.
Right.
He was instrumental in their finals.
Yes, he's their best perimeter defender.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give you that. But I'm going to give it a 1 on a scale of 10 because I just can't buy it because I just can't see it on a consistent enough basis.
Neither can I.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they dredge it up, and Draymond chest beats and takes all the credit for turning that game around. His quote after the game was, "It was perfect, perfectly executed." He's talking about the flagrant foul he got, that was exactly what that team needed at that moment. Steve Kerr after the game, "Draymond willed us to victory tonight." So Draymond is taking credit because he said, we were dead in the water. I'm looking around, and we're having a hangover from the game they lost the other night because...
Draymond turned it over.
Okay, so they were still trying to pick themselves back up off the canvas off that game. And so Draymond gets the flagrant foul, and then about 20 seconds later, he almost gets another tech, which I believe he should have gotten because he just runs over Herbert Jones. How is that not a flagrant? Well, he'd already gotten one.
Right.
So that would have been the end of him.
Yeah, but look, you watched enough games. Nobody else can talk to the official and have the antics that Draymond displayed without getting tossed every game.
Yeah.
They like, man, that's just Draymond. A lot of times they just ignore it.
Yep. Okay. So the point is that in the end, how impressed was I? Okay, so Jen knows this full well. Okay, they don't have Zion, who's their best player.
Correct.
And they don't have Alvarado, who is their spark plug.
Yes.
Their defensive, he's not a stopper, he's a starter.
Yes.
He just creates havoc.
Right.
You can't get the ball inbounds. You can't get the ball up court.
Yeah, he's picking up 94 feet. He's making timely threes.
Okay, so the point is that am I that impressed? So it jump-started them. And then in the third quarter, we got the CJ play. If we can see, CJ got frustrated because CJ just sort of lost it in the third and fourth quarter, and he just runs over DiVincenzo. And CJ in the second half was horrible. And he's got to be, without Zion, he's got to be the one that you lean on.
Yes.
Obviously, Brandon Ingram's their best player.
Right.
But CJ, as their veteran presence, has got to make sure. So in the second half, he goes 1 of 7, 0 for 3 for 3, scores 2 points with 1 rebound and 0 assists, no free throws. It's just not good enough.
Right.
That's going to happen.
Yes.
And yet the Pelicans have been on a late season roll. They have caught some late season fire, which is why they were up 20 points.
Right. You probably got to find a way to get that one home, though, Skip. You get up that many points on the road, you've got to find a way to slow the thing down. Willie Green, burn some of your timeouts, get the guys under control, because you know what happens in this building, Skip. Chase, Steph hits a three, Poole or Clay hits a three. Now all of a sudden, here comes that crowd, and then Draymond's gonna start getting. Hey, fire only goes if he has oxygen. You got to snuff that out.
Yep. So remember the game back on March 12th? Milwaukee visits that same arena.
Yes.
And there's no Giannis that night. And Milwaukee's up 8 in the fourth quarter, and Golden State roars back to force overtime and then wins going away in overtime 125-116.
Yes.
Remember Steve Kerr after the game? That was championship stuff. And I'm like, it was? There's no Giannis. Okay. They keep trying to speak it back into existence.
Right.
Well, he's talking about how fearless Steph was in that Milwaukee game. Okay, I got it. We've seen it before. We get it.
Yes.
But we haven't seen it nearly enough on the road this year.
Right.
And then Draymond saying last night, I do all this because I know my team has my back. And I'm thinking, wait a second. This whole thing started to unravel before the season. You punched your teammate in the jaw in a practice. And somehow, some way, as you pointed out, the tape got leaked.
Well, but my thing is, okay, Skip, his team got his back. Okay, so why y'all 9-29 on the road?
Yeah, that's the
Since your team got your back,
I got it.
You know exactly what this team needs.
Right.
Why in the hell are you 9-29 on the road?
All right. And again, to my point, why did the tape get leaked if your team has your back? Somebody upstairs does not have your back.
Yeah, they leaked that.
Right?
They leaked that. They tried to make Dre look bad.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
I mean, there's no way around that. Yeah.
Right. Are they burned out on him? Are they tired? Do they want to go in a different direction? Why would they want to make a guts and glue guy look bad? A guy who has been a very important, if not the most important, sort of glue player.
Yeah, he's definitely the heartbeat of the team.
Yeah, the heartbeat. Okay, I don't know, but that's what happened.
Yes.
They got off on the wrong foot, and it feels like, especially on the road, they've stayed on the wrong foot the whole year.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and that's the thing, though, Skip. And like you said, somebody leaked this tape. We should have never known about this, because this is not the first time that there have been fights in an NBA practice or shoot around or whatever this was. This is not the first time. There are a lot of fights that happen in NFL locker room that people never, ever, ever hear about.
They happen all the time.
All the time. Yes.
Okay.
On the football, on the field, in the locker room, wherever, the weight room, and people never hear about it.
Never.
Now, obviously, there. I don't know, but I know we had cameras. Mike had cameras installed throughout, so meeting rooms or whatever else. And there have been fights taking place in the meeting room, and it's never got out unless somebody wanted it to get out. Now, it's hard for me to believe that the Warriors have a rogue video guy.
Yeah.
That just say we went rogue and got a couple of dollars from TMZ, because I think TMZ was the one that leaked this.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody got $150,000, but I don't think a guy's going to ruin, because these jobs don't come along often. These are jobs that you can keep for 20, 30 years. I mean, Eric Spoelstra started in the tape room, and hell, he's a head coach. So guys are probably not going to go rogue and mess up a golden opportunity, especially in this organization. But like you said, I'm just trying to figure out if they know what's going on and they got each other's back. I need somebody to explain to me 9-29. If you can explain that to me, then I can say, you know what? Everything's peaches and cream, hunky-dory. But I just can't. They can't offer me no explanation of why it's so lopsided home and away.
Okay, so they are clinging barely to the 6th spot. So that's out of the play-in, obviously.
Yeah, Skip, the only reason I gave him a 3 is because it is Golden State, and they do have the greatest shooter of all time.
They do.
And they do have the greatest shooting backcourt of all time.
Yep.
That's why I gave it a 3. Hell, if he wasn't on the team, I'd have gave him a 0. Even if they had won the championship last year, had Steph Curry not been on this team, I would put him at 0. 0 chance with a 9-29 record that they can repeat.
Okay. Obviously, when you look above them and even slightly below them, there's injury wreckage everywhere.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, we think, is coming back tonight. You and I are going to discuss this in just a few minutes here on this show. But you go to the top. Are we sold on Denver? I haven't been all year. I'm starting to get more and more sold on the Grizzlies now that Ja's back in the flow of it.
And the way they're playing, Jared Jackson ain't letting nothing to the rim.
Nope, nothing. So they got a great shot this year. But then you start looking at all the other teams. The Clippers, I'm not sold on. They lost Paul George.
Right.
They're stuck with Russ like your Lakers were stuck with Russ. And we just keep going back and forth. Dallas looked like one of the top 4 teams, and now they're out of the play-in as we speak, and they got to play at Embiid tonight. Can they win that? I don't even know if Joel's going to play. I assume he is. Can they win that game? They could be the odd team out before this is over.
Luka and Kyrie going to have to go crazy.
Yep.
Because they definitely don't have an inside presence. I can see Joel Embiid getting 50-20 in a game like this with no inside. With Powell and Kleber as your only guy. JaVale, they don't really play JaVale that much.
Well, tonight they better. Seriously.
They better throw it.
JaVale can bother Joel.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, is that they got 18 fouls. Use them up.
You better. You got Christian Wood. I know he plays softer perimeter shooters type stuff.
He ain't got no bricks in his back pocket.
Yeah. Okay, so the point is, could Golden State take off? Well, sure they could.
Yeah.
It's that kind of year where it's begging to be won. We're going to talk about your Lakers. LeBron's back. See, they got to go to Chicago, back to the scene of the quote-unquote crime that they lost at home. Well, are they good enough to take off? Yes, they are. All these teams are, but I'm with you. In the end, this Golden State team keeps saying, look how good we are. And I keep saying, well, show me on the road.
Right. Exactly. That's what it's going to come down to. Could they possibly beat every team in the West in 4 games? Sure. Could they lose to every team that's in the playoffs in the West in 7 games? Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Agreed.
It is the largest home road differential in the NBA, guys. It is a stark difference. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.